There's a unique fashion that originated in Japan decades ago and has since spread throughout the globe. When I first learned about it and met some of the women involved in this fashion culture in the US, I was mesmerized and inspired, not only by their passion, but also, quite frankly, their badassery. They know how to use clothing to go against the norm, express themselves, and embrace their definition of femininity. Everyone has their own story about how and why they got involved. This is one of those stories, and it still has me in awe. We are demystifying Lolita fashion in America. Get ready to be inspired. When you hear the term Lolita, certain things may come to mind. What sorts of things? Well, there's that 1955 novel by Russian-American novelist Vladimir Nabokov called Lolita. In short, the character Lolita was a 12-year-old girl who was sexually victimized by the book's narrator. Then there's the definition of Lolita. According to the Cambridge English Dictionary, Lolita refers to a young girl who has a sexual appearance and behaves in a very sexual way. The Lolita fashion I'm talking about has absolutely nothing to do with any of that. And I'm pretty sure those involved in this culture would appreciate it if people stopped making that comparison. Tempest Paige, a Lolita and the owner of Sweet Poison Cupcake in Rochester, New York, explains what this fashion culture is really about.
It's actually a rebellion against being too sexualized and dressing for yourself and not dressing for men. And it comes from Japan. It was formed in the 90s, and it comes from Japanese rock music. Visual Kei was how Lolita got formed, and it started as a way for the girls who liked those bands to dress up at the shows, and then it evolved into its own style.
The dresses worn by Lolitas have incredible detail with a variety of prints and colors. They almost look couture. Tempest explains there are 3 different forms of Lolita, and each has its own styles, themes, and designers. There's classic Lolita, gothic Lolita, and sweet Lolita. Which one is Tempest? She says she is all about sweet Lolita right now.
I love pastels. I love the themes of sweets and baked goods. I feel so light and happy when I have these bright, colorful clothes on.
Lolita fashion was a natural fit for Tempest. She told me she's loved dressing up since she was a kid. It was her passion for anime which opened up the world of Lolita starting at the age of 12. Tempest says Lolita fashion, in many ways, has changed her life.
I always wanted to dress for myself, and my mom raised me to be strong and not care about what other people thought of me. So when I would wear these dresses to school, people would make snide comments and be like, "It's not Halloween yet," or they would call me mean names or make fun of me. And a couple times in school, I got asked out on a date as a joke. People were dared to date me because I was just so weird and so unusual.
The story doesn't end there. Tempest used Lolita fashion to not only empower herself, but also build self-confidence.
These clothes made me happy, and I didn't want to be like everybody else wearing clothes just to not be bullied. It wasn't worth it in the end, so I just let all that roll off of me. And now, 5 years out of high school, I can say with confidence that I don't remember any of the bullying. It's all behind me now, and Lolita has given me confidence that I couldn't dream of if I was wearing any other style.
There are Lolita communities and meetup groups in cities all around the world. People of all gender identities, ages, races, and ethnic backgrounds come together to connect and celebrate Lolita fashion and all it means to them.
When I wear this style, I want to let people know that I want to have fun, and I'm live each day like each day's a play, and the world is my stage, and I'm here to have fun. And I love it when people come up to me and ask me what I'm wearing. The best experience I ever had in Lolita fashion was after a long day of work, after an event here. I went to Wegmans, and I'm heading to the checkout aisle, and a little girl comes up to me and she says, "Are you a candy princess?" And she gave me the biggest hug. And it's moments like that that make all the negative comments worth it.
Being a Lolita isn't necessarily an easy thing to do. Those in this culture inevitably deal with stares, cruel comments, and false labels simply because of the style of clothing they wear. Clothes that go against the norm. Tempest uses her boutique as a place to educate and bring what she calls a digestible form of Lolita to the public.
We're not selling straight up Lolita dresses here, but we are selling a form of Japanese street fashion and alternative fashion to you guys in a way that I think anyone can enjoy. So for people who are trying to get their parents to get into this fashion or explain to their parents what this stuff is, they can come here and bring their parents and I can explain it to them, or they can see that this is a real style. This isn't like a fetish or anything like that. This is a real legitimate way of dressing.
I told you, I am in awe of Tempest's story and the impact of Lolita culture on her life and the lives of many others. Here's a brief recap with a few tips from Tempest for those interested in trying Lolita fashion for themselves. First, Lolita culture is not about sexuality. Tempest explains it's a form of rebellion and a way for women to dress for themselves in a feminine and demure way. Second, Lolitas can be found all around the globe. If you're interested in learning more, Tempest suggests researching and reaching out to your local community because there's strength in numbers. And finally, if you're nervous to wear Lolita fashion in public, Tempest suggests going to an anime convention. She says it's a great way to test the waters. That wraps up another edition of the Empty Hangers Decoding Dress. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this episode and any questions you may have about Lolita culture. Be sure to reach out on our social media channels or our website, and I'll see you next time.